people catch on. But until then, I think we're going to try to make as much money as possible. So let's jump in. If you have any questions, ping them to me in the chat. I just cooked up this presentation and I'll talk about a bunch of the headlines. And here we go, folks. And I'll show you this exact article, but this Dubai luxury property doubles in 13 months or more. It was a $3 million investment that went to $6.5 million in 13 months. And again, this was just an article that was on Google News, all right? This isn't anything curated or anything like that. And yet here it is. So it's pretty cool to see this stuff actually happening. By the way, this was the article and this is the deal. And you can go look it up yourself if you like, but this is literally something that came up. It's in the Arabian Business and it just talks about how this sector is hot. And again, you know, people are saying to me, Brian, come on, 40% returns, 50% returns, that's impossible. And it's like, okay, well, these guys just made 118, all right? And so there is an opportunity if you know the sector. And again, it's hard for me to emphasize this more, but it's the turnaround times that really help here. Sure, you can buy an off-plan house right now on Jebel Ali, and it'll be ready in 7 years. I mean, good luck with that for an annual return. But this is something that's already built, that's already in a prime location, that has experts that are going to make it extremely beautiful, what we call ultra luxury. And they're already in the process of selling it as soon as they buy it. They have an entire process of doing this. And as you can probably tell, I couldn't be more excited. We're going to put, I think, $200 grand into this first deal. We're probably going to close that up this week, maybe early next week. SPV goes in and then boom, we're done. And we're just going to do more and more of these. Also might be doing some media around this as well. So I can't really say anything yet, but you might see some footage coming out soon of the entire process happening with me here in Dubai, because this is something we're pretty excited about. Folks, before we get started, just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. Also want to give you this free video, how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a link at the end, but that's for free. So just hang out for about 30 minutes and I'll give that to you at the end. We like to move pretty fast on these. Folks, who am I? Well, a lot of people don't know that I actually spent 15 years on Wall Street inside the world of real capital flows. I've invested in stocks and bonds and commodities, and of course, a whole lot of crypto as well, as some of you know. But I worked all around the world. And so I saw the way capital works, and the people that made money, it wasn't the smartest, it was the people with access to these deals. And that's exactly what we give you inside the circle. Access to deals that honestly, you wouldn't have a heaven's chance of ever finding on your own, even if you were here, and most of you aren't, right? I'm gonna be here for the next 6 months, making sure that our deals make a boatload of money and then I find every other deal coming out. So that's the plan. Of course, through London Real, I've spent the last 15 years interviewing a lot of the smartest minds on the planet, some of them at the top of their game in real estate as well, which I'll mention soon. Which, who knows, maybe that planted seeds in me years ago. And then, of course, the last 5 years, I've been coming into Dubai really for the blockchain and investing in crypto, where we've invested $25 million into the crypto ecosystem. But I started to get to know the neighborhoods, the players, been to a lot of luxury houses, and really even looked for houses at one point to bring the family here. So this is something I've been really studying up close. And of course, London Real's got 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers and followers, and that really gives us a huge imprint here. Folks, these are some of the greats. I mean, Grant Cardone, I mean, when you think about real estate, he is the first name you think of. When I met Grant, he didn't even have 1 billion under management. Now he's got 5 billion under management. And he reckons many of his companies are worth over $1 billion. I just had him on the show. We're dropping his trailer, I think, today. And he's always been an inspiration. Grant shows you how to go big. And, you know, it took me, 10 years? But I finally maybe got the message that property might be something we should look into. This is Robert Kiyosaki. How many people know Robert? Anybody ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad? Robert's a legend. He's a really good friend of mine. He texts me all the time. He's actually coming to Dubai in a couple months, and I want to sit down with him. But Robert is about owning real assets, right? He doesn't buy fake things. So he owns property, gold, Bitcoin, and silver. He told me to buy silver when it was at 30 bucks. Now it's at 85 bucks. Always listen to Robert, okay? He doesn't believe in Wall Street. He doesn't trust those bankers, and neither do I. And he doesn't trust things that are fake. And so he's always been pushing me to go into real estate. Of course, I've hung out with guys like Jim Rickards. Jim wrote a book called Currency Wars that pretty much every economist in the world has watched and viewed. And he's the guy that taught me a lot about markets. He's amazing. He actually does a war games annually. about basically financial terrorism on the US. And he sits down and trains guys from the CIA and the War Department on how to handle that type of a currency cyber attack on the US. And of course, Dan Pena, a lot of you know the $1 Trillion Man. This is me accepting his promoting me to the QLA Hall of Fame. So I'm up on the wall in Guthrie Castle alongside all the billionaires. And Dan always taught me to go big, and that's exactly what we're doing here in Dubai. So why Dubai? Well, first of all, it's the #1 destination for global wealth migration, right? I'm going to show you a slide very shortly, and that's going to show you more. This is where all the wealthy people are coming, period, right? And what they want is they want ultra premium accommodation. I sat down with my guest today and he said, Brian, up to 5 years ago, you couldn't really find ultra premium stuff here. Sure, there was quote unquote luxury, but the people that are spending 10, 20, $30 million on a house, they know the difference between wannabe luxury and the highest end of the highest end. By the way, these are turnkey products. They furnish them with the top of the line furniture, the top of the line marble, the top of the line Italian kitchen appliances. And they get it right at the spec to where the husbands and the wives, they walk in and they know, because if you know, then you know. And you can't try to pull the wool over the eyes of somebody who's wealthy. The other thing I found out today is when you buy a property from these people, they give you a full year of a concierge service. These people get visas for your gardener and your chef and everything. They make sure that you can source every little thing that you want here in Dubai. The idea is that they provide a seamless transition from your life in Monaco, in Miami, in Paris, in Geneva, right into Dubai. And that's all part of this service of turnkey. Look, this market is built for high performance returns. Okay, that's what it is. And that's why with these quick turnaround times, we can get these yields that don't make any sense. You know, honestly, if you can return 25% a year on Wall Street for multiple years in a row, you're in the top 1% of the top 1%. So when you see something like 40 to 90, I get it. It does sound high, right? But that's because we're in a special situation. And the truth is there's a severe shortage of these turnkey luxury supply. At the top high end, people that really know, there's just not enough. And these property developers, they don't develop that stuff. They just don't. You really need someone here with a special touch. The group we're working with will work on maybe 10, 15, 20 properties this year. They're not looking to do 100 because it just doesn't scale. What else about Dubai? No personal tax, no capital gains tax. I know, I'll say that one more time. No personal tax, no capital gain tax. It's a no-brainer. It attracts capital. And of course, rapid economic growth. The city is growing at 5% a year. The only way that major cities in the world right now can grow at that rate is to import lots of immigrants, which cause apparently lots of problems if you ask Londoners and New Yorkers and everybody else. Here, you get the most talented people in the world moving here with millions and billions of dollars. All right, it's a bit of a different growth, 5% a year. Obviously, it's a cash-rich international buyers, and they want to move right in. They don't want nonsense. They want to say to their wife or their husband and their kids, guess what? You're going to move right into the greatest place you ever lived. Do you want to move to Dubai? Yes, Papa. Yes, Mama. Let's go. And that's how you get your family here. This is that chart that I talked about. It's global millionaire migration in 2025. UAE is a leader with a net gain of 9,800 millionaires. Lord knows how many billionaires are in there. And you can see at the very bottom, the United Kingdom, unfortunately, the place that I'm kind of calling home or used to call home, is down by 16,500 millionaires have left and gone other places. They're going to UAE, United States, Italy, and then it really drops off. But right, this chart alone shows you how bad things are in the UK. And I'll talk more about that. Again, it's a lot, and it shows you they're all coming here. So what is a luxury transformation? Really important. It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. We usually go to locations that everyone knows, like Emirates Hills, Palm Jumeirah, places that have great location. And it was something when I was talking to our guest today, he said, Brian, the rule in real estate is location, location, location. If you have a great location, even in a down market, people are still going to want your assets. Again, for these people, it's not their first rodeo. They're bringing 20, 25 years of experience in this market to the table. Again, these things are designed to match exactly what the global buyers want. Again, I was talking to our guest today and he said, Brian, I had people come here 5 years ago, billionaires, that could not find a property that would suit them. And therefore they didn't move here because there was no one really catering to this high end. So even though there's tons of property in Dubai, there's actually not enough super high end properties. I'm talking 15,000, 20,000 square foot homes. The one that we're investing in on Friday, It's going to be a 60 million dirham total cost with renovations and the property cost. And I think on the high end, they want to sell it for 100 million, right? So as a rough rule of thumb, divide by 5 for pounds. So that's a 20 million pound home. Like these are the highest end of the highest end, right? And that's what we're looking to do. Again, this strategy builds, unlocks significant wealth because it's quick turnaround time. I mean, have you ever heard of a project completed that quickly? But the labor is cheap here, and these people design ahead of time. They run it like a machine, and that's how we can get these high performance returns. Again, this really is like the perfect storm of things happening, including the fact that I'm here. Because if you didn't know me and I wasn't here, you would never even know this was happening. Folks, 40 to 90% returns. It's something that's hard to believe. I want to play for you a quick video that probably shows you a little more than tells you what we're seeing here on the ground. And again, it's kind of an exciting place to be. I'm going to be dropping more videos of me actually at these properties as well. And I think you're going to like it, but this is more of what we're doing.
Dubai real estate is exploding, and the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today.
Boom, there you go. I'm getting excited about this. I won't lie to you. I'm pretty pumped up for this. Again, closing our first deal this week, and we've got our live call with everybody on Zoom. It's 4 p.m. UK time. It's only for members, but we're literally going to be slicing up the pie. It's going to be interesting because I don't know if our members are going to want more, you know? Obviously, we pride ourselves on the fact that it's a $10,000 minimum because of the SPV structure, and I'll explain that shortly. But it'll be interesting to see what the call is like, because maybe one of our members will like, I want the whole 200K, and then I'm going to have to go find some more. So these are what we call high quality problems. And yeah, we're just excited to kind of get that first deal printed. Folks, this is a case study that this same developer did. And it was done on the Palm Jumeirah. Okay, this is the artificial island that was built about 15 years ago. They literally created it out of the sea. And, you know, it's funny, I was talking to my guy today, and he said, Brian, these homes at the time went for 2 million dirhams, okay, 400,000 pounds. And that was considered ultra high luxury at the time, right? But now you can see the location is there, but the homes, you know, they're no longer the high-end luxury that you would think. Now, I'm sure if all of us went there, we wouldn't mind sleeping on the floor. You know, they're nice places, but they're not going to have all the details that you expect. And so this is literally what they did. They acquired the property for $7.1 million. They put 6.3 into renovations and permits. So the total cost was 13.4. They sold that at $25.9 million 12 months later, and they got a 93.8% return. Again, they actually are brokers themselves. They can actually sell this thing. And that's what's really interesting, because these people aren't just brokers. They're not just developers. They also have a real taste for high-end luxury. And so they can do it all at the same time, which, you know, really is pretty cool. This is the article I mentioned earlier. Again, somebody else is the one that did this transformation in this project and spun it from 3 million to 6.5, 118% return. So it's not like this isn't happening elsewhere. It's just something that I think is one of the best kept secrets. Of course, we know that recently the record was hit between Middle East most expensive penthouse sale, 150 million US dollars, $3,172 per square foot, both highs. And that was done in the Bugatti building. We know that the UAE luxury property is set for a sustained boom. We're expecting the expansion from about $45 billion in 25 to $71 billion by 2030. And that's exactly what we're expecting in that luxury residential real estate market. Again, it's clear the momentum is just going up and up and up. And of course, the property prices are starting to rise because the sales of homes over $10 million each was up 54% in Q3. And I talked about this before, and I'll mention it again. I believe Dubai is an anti-fragile place. What does that mean? When the world gets shocked, right? And lately the world gets shocked a lot. What happens? Well, people move to Dubai. So when COVID happened in 2020, wherever you were in the world, you were probably locked down. You were probably being forced to wear masks and social distance. Dubai actually opened up much, much, much quicker than anyone else, and people moved here. What happened later? Russia invaded Ukraine. Tons of problems and drama in both Ukraine and Russia. What happened? Citizens from both countries moved here, hundreds and thousands of them. Then what happened? October 7th in Israel, attack. What happened? People moved here. And the latest attack in the UK are these ridiculous tax rates that are being jacked up. And what do you get for it? Nothing in terms of social services. You get your watch stolen and you get stabbed in London as a thank you. And they're increasing your taxes, and they're making it harder for wealthy expats to even stay here. It's no surprise they're coming here. And I guarantee you there's going to be more shocks in the future. Every time you see a global problem, people are going to move to Dubai. And that means there's going to be a continual demand for property. Of course, we know that now Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket when it comes to luxury real estate. And of course, why? Well, from residency visas to big returns, these luxury apartments are really fueling the boom here. And of course, as you can see from this article, the real estate sales passed $17.5 billion in November. And it says that the real estate transactions jumped 31% in November to that level. And it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. Of course, our latest deal, I can't share too much about it, but it's an inland property, super high spec. And we're expecting some really nice returns on that. What we'd like to do is be conservative about the estimates, and then what we'd rather do is underpromise and overdeliver. And that's what we really want to do, especially with this first project. Folks, the kind of returns here are just incredible. Again, I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. I've never seen anything like it. And what we really want to do is compound these returns over the next 3 to 5 years. So if we can get you a 40% and compound that to a 60%, compound that to a 70%, and then another 50%, you're going to find that your money doesn't grow at 50%. Your money starts to double very soon. And that's what we really want to do here to get maximum returns. So how does London Real get access to these deals? The truth is, it's not my pretty face. It's our media platform. People see us as an asset in these deals. The truth is, there's a lot of money in Dubai. These people are not searching or are not suffering from a lack of capital here. All right. What they're searching for is a media footprint that can help them really build this business and take it global. Our partners here want to move to Monaco and Miami and New York. And if you join, then we can offer you those properties in the future as well. And we believe that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We have been working for 15 years to build our reach, our platform. We're only bringing in London Realers like you, people that have been with us for a very long time. That's the only way these communities work, if we're all thinking the same thing. Now, look, maybe some of you have tried to invest in property on your own and you felt like Drake here on the top. You had a bad experience. Maybe you bought a second home and you're fixing toilets on weekends, or maybe you realized it's a lot harder to make money in property than you thought. I totally get it. I never wanted to do that, to be honest, let alone buy something in a foreign country that I knew nothing about. That's why we created this. So you can take part in the Dubai boom, even if you've never visited here. Right. And again, I'm on the ground. This is so important. I would never do this from London. I'm on the ground. I'm going to be getting my fingernails dirty. I'm going to be on these sites every 2 weeks to see what's happening. We might even have live webcams there so you can literally see the project or the progress of the project. And then we'll start selling this thing 3 months before it's even ready and start teasing the market, and then move this thing. It's all about moving these things fast. We don't want this to stay on the market for 3 months. We'd rather sell it and get a return and get our capital back to work than wait longer on one of these projects. And that's why we're giving you really a turnkey solution to investing in real estate. And of course, we're investing in turnkey property. And of course, it's called the Luxury Property Investment Circle. A lot of you have already applied. Some of you have spoken with Mark. If you haven't, honestly, it'll take you 30 seconds. Go to londonreal.tv/Dubai and apply. It's super simple to do. But what we're looking to do is make you 40 to 90% returns for many years with a minimum of $10,000 investment. That's what we're looking to do. So if you go to the website, you'll see this form, put in your first name, last name, phone number, give us 10 or 20 words on why you joined the circle. Then we're going to do our research on you. We're going to find out when's the first episode of London Real that you watched? How many times have you been here? Have you bought some of our courses? Have you been to our events? let's just say you have a higher probability of getting accepted if you've been supporting us for a long time. And then you'll either get the answer, you're in or you're out. If you're in, you got 48 hours to decide. If not, that's fine. We're going to give it to somebody else. I've never seen so much interest in a product in my life, right? We launched this a month ago. Phones are off the hook. Mark is working 24/7. I'm working 24/7 because this is something people really want. It's such an obvious yes. Now, look, a lot of you know that I've been in London for 20 some years, right? I love the place so much that I named my show after the city London. I ran for mayor twice, right? I stood last time on a pro freedom of speech, pro crypto platform, and I really wanted to change the city. But the truth is, they weren't ready for me. And the real truth is, maybe that's all for the best, because then I couldn't be here making you a lot of money. And so I would say that what you really want to do is check out what we're doing, because I've pretty much decided that this is the way forward, always. And so that's why I've moved here, and this is what I want to do. So look, I'll always have London on my mind. It'll always have a special place in my heart. But right now, I really believe this place is the future for many, 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 many reasons. And that's why I've been setting up the studio. I've been here for a long time, and I've been recording here and putting out episodes. And that's what we do. Here I am sitting down with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, and he actually gave me my golden visa. If it wasn't for him, I might not even be here. Of course, I've sat down with crypto influencers like Carl Moon. He's actually a crypto billionaire, owns a Bugatti. And so I've actually been to a lot of luxury homes by hanging out with these people. And they know that this is the place for them and the place to make money. And of course, this is Chris MM Crypto, probably the biggest guy in crypto online, about 2 million followers on Twitter. And go figure, he actually has a luxury villa on the Palm, right? Go figure. So I've been to a lot of these places. If some of you follow my Instagram stories, you'll see some of the places I've been. And it's really given me a good idea of what we want in this investment circle. Folks, we're going to invest $3 million in the next 3 months into 6 deals. And we hope you're a part of one. And if not, no problem. But what we really want to do is just compound this. And I'm going to reserve all the deal flow to the initial members. And they're going to get the first look to reinvest as well. Because this isn't about one deal. This is about compounding this over multiple deals. And folks, it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. When you take a brand like London Real with 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, and you put it together with capital, you make something that's never been created before. We actually were the first ones to think of this model, and we're taking it down to the next level. A media platform is not just about podcasting anymore. It's about doing much, much more than that. Now, we brought this portfolio together in crypto by using this method, right? And what you see here is 100 of the best names in blockchain and AI. And we did this because of London Real Ventures and our media platform and our group that's not unlike the property circle called the Investment Club. We've had a ton of success. Names like Skillful AI up 20x at the launch made my group $4 million. Names like Shrapnel, we made 20x in 20 days and a $5 million profit. Names like Mochaverse up 20x and still going up. And of course, Story Protocol up 42x. Jose, who just joined the property circle, who will be on the live call on Thursday, he put $50,000 on this project. He's now worth a cool $2 million on one deal. And for Jose, this was a no-brainer. He's like, Brian, of course I want to join your property circle. Why wouldn't I? And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in called 1RT. It's already up 4x. We'll probably spin up to 8x by the end of the year. We put $1 million in there, so that'll be a $7 million profit back to our members. We're actually putting another $1 million into this fund. I know some of you have already invested in there. And it's just, we've had a track record of success. Folks, one of the reasons we win is because we invest alongside the best people out there, the smartest money. Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase Ventures, and we're doing the same here, and that's why we're going to be successful. And of course, now with the investment club, we've now invested almost 25 million bucks right now into over 100 deals. And we're going to take the same success here in property. I don't know how long it's going to take us to hit the same mark, 25 million in property, but it could happen much quicker than you think, because I think we're going to have a lot of interest and we're going to start compounding these returns. Folks, I'm known and recognized here. I got an award recently for the Best Venture Capitalist of the Year. Of course, the Global Family Office Investment Summit gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award for our media and our investments. And of course, everybody in Dubai knows me because for an old man, I'm not afraid to lace up the gloves and beat up some of these young punk kids at the old crypto fight night. Next one's May 1st. I'm thinking about it. I've had 2 fights so far. My parents and my kids keep begging me to stop, but sometimes you just can't listen. So we'll see, maybe one more fight. Folks, how can we maximize our investment returns? That's what you should be thinking about right now. My job is to make you as much money as possible. Well, diversification is the holy grail of investments. That's what Ray Dalio said. You can now prove it mathematically. If you diversify your portfolio, you make more money over time. And that's what we're doing here. And this is a typical portfolio of one of my investment club members. They've got about 20% in crypto, 20% in fixed income, 15% in cash and equities, and maybe they own a home or two. That real estate investment of 30%. I like that portfolio. All I'm suggesting is that you change some of that real estate into Dubai luxury transformation projects. And so you can keep that 30% allocation, keep your crypto. Crypto is super high risk, super high return, right? Some deals go to zero, some deals do 42x. With real estate, I really want to get this steady 40, 50, 60% returns we can compound over 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. I mean, you can do the math. If you do 50% compounding over 10 years, you're talking about a lot of money there, a lot. And that's what we really want to do. Of course, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. A lot of people stay in their home countries and they complain. Oh, London's unsafe. Oh, the government's bad. I hate labor. You know what? I'm tired of all that. I am going to make this happen, okay? We're voting with our feet. We're voting with our checkbook. And I'm not going to complain about my country being unsafe or being taxes too high. I'm just going to go make a boatload of money for you and us in the place where it's actually happening. Of course, I recently sat down with Ben Bandari, and he is considered the best broker in Dubai. He's also the star of $1 Million Listing UAE, which is one of those property reality shows that are big on Netflix. This is him in the second season, which is kicking off alongside the record property boom. And Ben sat down with me and I asked him, why Dubai? Why is Dubai special? And of course, what's interesting about Ben is that he's from Toronto, right? So he came here 20 years ago with a dream. He didn't even know what was going to happen. And of course, in the financial crisis of '08, this place got hit really, really hard. And so he didn't know if he was going to stay. He didn't know if he was going to go. And so what he decided to do was actually stay. And this is him talking about why Dubai.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he's just created a marketing machine. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. You have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
Safety, security, stability, right? Rinse, repeat. And that's just something we can't find in a lot of countries. It's just not there in London. It's not there in New York City. It's not there in Miami. It's not there in most of the major global cities. And let alone the vision that the royal family has. It's just kind of incredible to watch. The other thing I'll say is just an aside is that there's no politics here. So there's nothing to occupy your mind with nonsense, right? In London, it's he said, she said, and she's resigning. It's like, okay, enough. Here, they got it handled. They run this place like a business. That's what you want to know. Takeaways from Ben: Dubai has safety and security in a massive way. Leadership attracts investment. People know where they're going here. The vision is strong. This country just got taken off the gray list, which it was on for many years. And a gray list is countries where they're like, we think maybe there's some weird, dodgy money going on there. US took it off the gray list about 18 months ago because Dubai came through with flying colors. Now they want this to be a place where global investment is attracted. And of course it is now. 0 personal taxes. You can't really say that anywhere else in the world. And of course it's a playground for the wealthy, and they're going to want very nice homes. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? Well, it's about deal flow, folks. My job is to be your voice here on the ground, your eyes on the ground, and get you into deal after deal after deal. What I'm going to do is use our media platform to promote these deals and to promote these investments. And that's what the deal makers want on the other end. And of course, I've been coming here for the last 5 years, meeting with members of government, meeting with venture capitalists, meeting with huge influencers here, and interviewing people on stage. I premiered one of my films here. I'll premiere my other film here later this year, hanging out with people like CZ here in the middle, who's worth, I don't know, $100 billion, and just really getting an idea of what happens here in the UAE. Of course, if you want to win in this space, folks, you have to invest with the best. And again, that means getting the perfect opportunities, right? The ones that have these ridiculous returns. Again, we're going to try to be conservative, but these numbers are probably going to blow you away. And the idea is to deliver wow, right? It's to underpromise and overdeliver. Of course, if you go to our investor portal right now, you can see the deals, you can click in, you can put how much you want on there. And when we do our live call, we basically split up the pie and we lock in the investment, and then we just move to the next. And then, of course, you'll have updates on every call along the way, where we're at, project just completion, and then, of course, the sale. Lastly, you want to understand the financial tools. And this is where this gets even more special, because it was already an incredible opportunity, but now we're making it completely 100% transparent, and we're using an SPV. All right, an SPV stands for Special Purpose Vehicle. It's a holding company that's created just for this deal. It doesn't do anything else, and after the deal's over, it dies. It's basically a standalone legal entity. So the owners, like you directly own the asset. Nobody else, no other company. And it also isolates all the risks from your personal wealth. It also keeps anybody else's legal problems from messing with our SPV. It's a ring-fence structure, provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, it's easier financing and partnerships. By the way, we incorporate this from AGDM, which is the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, under British common law. All right? So there's no messing around with being in some weird country and weird laws. It's all British common law. And that's what makes this thing an extremely attractive way to invest in these deals. Folks, if you want to get in, you got to pull the trigger. There's going to be people that pull the trigger and people that sit on the fence. I guess there always is, right? And so we're looking for people that just want to be a part of it. But timing matters, because the SPVs, we can't expand them once they're filled. This isn't like a company that could raise an extra 100 grand of capital, right? This is a specific deal. Once the cost of the land and the refurbs are done, we don't need any more capital. Early investors get priority. Obviously, Circle members get ultimate priority. Nobody else can see it. The deals close super fast, so you have to be ready. As soon as you join, I'll get you KYC'd immediately, because I could really get a call tomorrow with the best deal we've ever seen, with maybe some crazy, 3-figure return, and I want to be able to jump on it. And of course, once allegations are gone, they're gone. Look, this is for serious investors only. We don't want people to waste our time. We want to build this for the next 10 or 20 years as a way to just continually grow your wealth over time. You want access, not theory. I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to give you access to a deal that's going to blow your mind, right? And this is real assets, not speculation, audited outcomes, transparency, special purpose vehicles, British common law, and access to amazing opportunities. So I would say apply. It's that simple. Get on our radar. Mark is there. He's probably reaching out. He can get on a phone call with you. And you might get a WhatsApp from me as well. I'm here. I'm just crazy busy because I'm trying to put all these deals together and still do the broadcasting and everything else that we do here. But look, it's a private membership. It's a pathway to premium opportunities. You can really build real wealth, and you can start with as little as $10,000 in these investments. I believe most people will invest more. But again, what we like is the fact that you can start small or test it. And then once you see what we do, then you can go more in. It's really up to you. So apply now. If you go to learnreal.tv/Dubai, you can do it. And honestly, it's the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. What this has is something called a very high Sharpe ratio. A Sharpe ratio is Wall Street talk for returns divided by the volatility of those returns, okay? And so this has a high return with a reasonable low volatility. Now, yes, you have to have risk or there's no return. So you are in Dubai, you're in property, and you're in luxury property. But other than that, you are minimizing all of this other potential risks. By the way, the dirham here is locked to the dollar. Again, British common law, SPV structures, and we're trying to get out in 12 months. So it really is about quick turnaround time. Folks, here's that video I promised. If you go to learnreal.tv/replay, you'll learn how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. So give that a watch. And that's it, folks. I'd love to answer some questions for you. I love giving these presentations because I get more excited about it when I talk about it. I'm just pumped, I want to join. Mark, can I join? Send me a message. Send me the link. But we're having this call on Thursday. If you're thinking about joining, join before Thursday because we'll have you on this call, 4 p.m. UK time. We'll show you this project. We'll get you KYC before that, and you can get in on this first deal. And that's what we'd love to show you. If you have any questions, send me a DM here. Some of you have spoken with Mark before, and some of you haven't. Mark, you want to just say a couple quick words? Mark is busy like 24/7. He's trying to reach out to hundreds of people around the world that are asking lots of questions. But if he has the time, he can get on the phone with you and answer any questions, or you can WhatsApp him or me. Mark, anything you want to tell people? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yeah, I think the best way is either they can reply to any of the WhatsApp. I mean, we are busy with a few people, so it may take some time to get back to them. But between the WhatsApp line or when they leave their information with us, I mean, that is really the best because we also have to schedule the people that are coming in. So I'm happy to drop I think they have our number. I'll leave our number here so that they could reach out via the WhatsApp line. And well, we have our applicants also.
Yeah, great. Leave your number and your email. Also, if you apply, once you apply, Mark will send you a message on email and he'll just say, hey, this is my contact. So you'll have that as well. What was I going to say? Oh, Kate had a question about tax implications, right? It's a great question, Kate. Every single individual is different. And so I can't know your tax situation because I don't know your details. But look, as a UK citizen, you're not going to be globally taxed, I don't think. So that's a good sign. If you're in the US, maybe you would. And so I guess you'd have to talk to your accountant about that, about all the details. But if you were living in Dubai and you were not a citizen of another country, then that tax treatment is of course, from the UAE. The other thing you can do is you can invest via a trust or another corporate entity. So, Mark, I don't know, you're going to be on the call Thursday, but about 25% of our members are investing via their trusts as well. We can do that through the SPV. So there's all sorts of ways to do this in a tax efficient manner. It's not my forte, but we're providing you the SPV based in the UAE, and your accountant should know exactly what to do from there. So I think that's the questions. It's great to finally put faces to names. Niels, I think we had a WhatsApp combo. Marius, I've seen you here before, so it's great to see you here. Kate, always a pleasure. And Leonidas, I know you're coming in late, but still, I would just say, people, there's something special about this. And, my mentor, Dan Pena, as much of a pain in the butt that he is, and sometimes he is, he actually has some truths that he's pretty good at. And he always said, Brian, he said, a deal is either hot or it's not. That's it. He said, you don't need to spreadsheet it. You don't need to kick your calculator out and analyze it for a month. Like when you see it, you know right away whether it's hot or not. Just like you know whether a guy or a girl is hot or not, right? You don't have to run it through your spreadsheet. And as soon as I saw this, I knew it was hot. I knew there was something special here. And the more and more I've learned about it, I've just gotten more and more of that belief. Right. And so for you, I would say make the same determination. If you don't see something in here as special or hot, then please go somewhere else, run the other way. But if you look at this and say there's something special here, and I always use the Groucho Marx test when it comes to when people offer me investments. Does anybody here know the famous line from Groucho Marx? Niels, have you heard this one? Marius, have you heard it? Kate, you might have heard it. The line what Groucho said is, I'd never want to belong to a club that would have me as a member. Right? Has anyone ever heard that? Right? And so when anyone ever offers me an investment, okay, and this happened in our crypto investment club for the last 4 years, we've invested almost 25 million bucks. My first question is, what makes me so lucky to get the opportunity to invest in your company? As in, I don't trust you. I don't believe you at all. I have to know that there's a reason I'm getting this, right? I have to want to know that I'm the last dollar in, not the first dollar in, okay? You want to be the last dollar in on an investment, which is what we are on this first deal, right? And I need to know why I'm seeing it. The only reason that you're seeing this is because you're a London Reeler. The only reason I'm seeing this is because of London Real. And again, I can have the nicest three-piece suits and the prettiest smile, but that's not going to get you to first base here in Dubai because they're going to say, what can you do for me? Your capital? I mean, seriously. You walk around this place, I mean, there's money like falling out on the sidewalk. People don't need your money. What they need is something more. And we bring this media access. So that's the only reason you're seeing this deal. Otherwise, not a chance in hell. You wouldn't even know what was happening. And that's the way a lot of great deals are happening. When I showed you that Story Protocol deal that we did at 42X, when we invested in that 2.5 years ago, you would have never, ever known that deal was happening. And that's the way it should be. Deals are for a select people, and that's what we give is access. So look, I think that pretty much wraps it up. You've got Mark's contacts, but seriously, if you're feeling this in your gut, join us. It really is a no-brainer. And over the next few years, it's probably going to be the greatest investment you make to join us in this club. All right. I think that's it. Mark, appreciate you. Reach out to this man. He'll change your life forever. Kate, a pleasure. Niels, Marius, Leonidas, good to see you all. And we'll see you here next time. All right. Bye, everybody.